Oyster rivers over the hill, and the lights of Logieville. Cabas and Tatnagel would take me back to old Marty Brook. Marty Brook, oh Marty Brook, take me back to Marty Brook. That's where I long to be, where friends are dear to me. Oyster rivers over the hill, and the lights of Logieville. Cabas and Tatnagel would take me back to old Marty Brook. Cabas and Tatnagel would take me back to old Marty Brook.
Yeah, God, I remember being a kid and when we were singing that song in school and when we said, "And the lights of Logieville," we all loved that. Thank you, Susan and Mary Butler for the vocals on that one, with Barbara Summers on the piano, Edison Russell on harmonica, Omar Pino on guitar. I'm sitting at the Barty Bogue Church right now, looking across to East Point near Logieville right over there. The Napan Bay stretches that way, and I'll be with Raj here later on this afternoon for another episode of Mirami-histor-chi.
I always like to start with something that begin with. Oh my God! Here, this here is it the Keefe Road or is it the O'Keefe Road? Okay, is the name Keefe or O'Keefe? You know, that was so I put-
Oh, I'm sure, like everything else, there'll be an argument on it. Human
and
nature.
this is in the Stork Parade would be Janice and Ray Carter.
Oh, right on.
They had a young lad, 8 pounds, and a brother for Jackie, Danny, and Brian.
And you know what? I think it was Philip.
Oh.
And we'll call that official. That right there opened up the show. So it's good to have Roger not knowing he's on camera. See how he's preparing here? So the Hotel Dieu Hospital. This is from 1986. We're part 4. From the Carters to Janice and Ray Carter, Chatham, on August 11th, 1986. A son, 8 pounds, 15 ounces. A brother for Jackie, Danny, and Brian, who we called Bubba. Danny we called Book. This would have been Philip, I think. So welcome back. I think we're at Raj. We're at episode 29. The local historian Roger Como, he has documented decades and decades and decades and decades and decades of local history through mainly the Miramichi Leader. Was it called the Miramichi Free Press? Was that the name of the paper before?
Something
like
press
that.
There,
Well, somebody let me know.
Miramichi Press.
The Miramichi Press or something like that. So anyway, Raj has been doing this. It deserves a lot of credit. We've been having fun on YouTube. We're not here pretending we're experts. We're not trying to do anything other than what we're doing. We're just hanging out, intergenerational, nephew, uncle. I've been in the Miramichi. I live in Vancouver. I've been here for like 4 months following, like during my father's passing and whatnot. And Raj and I are using this time to do a project. We're just doing it, a creative project on YouTube. It's been a really good experience. And, you know, we've shown these things before. Roger, this is like, he's made ones that have like kind of more quality sheet metal. This is flashing. But all of these boxes fit the newspapers. These are from 1986, 16-inch wide. You can put a paper in without bending it. Raj, you deserve a lot of credit. The consistency it takes to do something for 50-something years, day after day, and to have this collection, and we're showing it. So it's been a great experience. A cup of tea, the eclipse it came as advertised. It was a really unbelievably cool and amazing thing to experience. Everybody says the same thing. And Raj, I got to go to a post-eclipse party last night. It was a house concert. I went with your daughter, my cousin Amanda. We watched a rock band from Vancouver just, you know, nail it out, and it was a fun time. So that was a good experience.
So you're saying if I would have walked in there, I would have made an about turn halfway in.
I don't think it would have been your type of music. But I like, you know, rock and roll's there for a reason. These young guys, they were young, and they were great musicians and stuff like that, and you can see there's something really creative going on. It was loud in there. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it. I took it in, a little stress relief, and I caught up with a few people I hadn't seen in some time, and it was fun.
Yeah.
That was also intergenerational. There was like some parents in there, my age group, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 20-year-olds, children running around. It was fun. There's probably, I'm going to estimate 50, 60 people in there, and it was a great time.
You mentioned the width of the 1986 newspaper was 16 inches.
Yep.
Today's newspaper is 12.5 inches.
12.5, so it's a
Yeah.
very different time.
Okay, we have father and son here, and we'll show the father first.
Okay. So this is from the 1986, around the August edition. We are going to say happy 80th birthday to none other than Borden Davidson. It says, love, family, and friends. There will be an open house honoring Borden's 80th birthday on August 8th from 1 to 4 in Douglastown. And it says, behind the carpet ranch. So happy 80th in 1986 to Borden. I don't know how many more years you live past that, but congratulations.
Okay.
And then his son.
Yep.
Okay, so this is that man's son, and this is a wedding announcement, and it says Davidson Ashton wed on July 12th. Joyce and Peter Davidson. There's Borden's son, Peter, and then he married Joyce. Right there. There's their wedding photo from 1986.
He followed his father as a funeral director.
Oh, Davidson's funeral home.
Yeah.
Oh, right on. So Joyce Marie, daughter of Tammy and Nora Ashton, and Peter Everett, son of Borden and Ella Davidson, exchanged wedding vows in a double ring ceremony at St. James and St. John's United Church in Newcastle. Right on. And you know what? That funeral director, what an important job. I realized that almost for the first time just this in February when my father passed away, and we were, we were really they really took care of us. Adam's funeral home in Chatham. They were so good.
Okay, we're just gonna deal with the pictures here.
Okay.
This one here, especially there, that's the archer.
Okay. Sportsman's winners.
Shows you. Okay, they won awards.
Okay, we'll just wing her. This is from September 24, 1986. This photo right here, it's in the sports section. It says Sportsman Winners. Once again, there's Miramichi's best dresser, Joe Rashore. A title that he just received because of this YouTube program. Joe Rashore of the Moosehead Breweries presents Miramichi Alpine Sportsman of the Month Awards to Rhoda Muir, Eddie McDermott, Pat Flanagan, and George Muir. So George and Rhoda, they were the archers that we featured before. And there's George, and then Rhoda, they were Canadian champions in archery. So right on. And then the other photo says Ladies Softball Trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that great photo right there. Local newspapers covering everything. People were connected, the community. It was a very different world in 1986. Joe Rashore of Moosehead Breweries presents the pennant-winning trophy in Newcastle's ladies softball to the Newcastle Bells, and receiving the trophy are Francis Way, he was the coach, and Bettina Bell was the captain. And look how healthy and great she looked. Bettina Bell, the captain of the Newcastle Bells softball team in 1986. And I bet you when the photo came out, she had to realize that her eyes were closed, and she probably wishes that photo turned out different, but I think she looks great.
Oh, On the back side of this,
Yes.
you can mention a well-known person's father, obituaries. On the
Okay.
back of this.
On the back of this one?
Yeah.
We're not going to show that. Okay.
Or you can just mention her dad's
Okay.
obituary.
So here's an obituary from 1986, and the name is D. Elmer Jenkins. Roger, where is that? Sorry, oh, right there. Roger has it all underlined. And that is the father of Helen Jones, teacher at the in the Chatham area for many years. A lot of photography. She did the photography at my sister's weddings. She's a great lady. She was at my dad's funeral reception. This obituary reads, Dr. Elmer Jenkins, 75, of Upper Napan, died Sunday, August 24th, at the Hotel Dieu Hospital after a brief illness. He was born in Boston. He was a son of the late Clement and Mildred McLean Jenkins, a farmer. He was also postmaster for 15 years in Napan and was a member of the St. Andrew's United Church in Chatham. He is survived by his wife, the former Inez Tweedy of Kishiboquack, 3 daughters, Mrs. Edmund Jones, Helen, and Mrs. Greg Reynolds, Mary, both of Wellfield, and Mrs. Gary McClanagan, Agnes of Black River Bridge, 2 sons, Austin of Upper Napan and Marshall of Center Napan. And if I were to read that differently in 2024, I would say he is survived by 3 daughters, Helen Jones, and not Mrs. somebody, right? So times have changed a little bit, but yes, Helen. So there it is. It was great seeing you at my dad's service, as per always.
Okay.
And you know, Helen taught me sex education in in middle school. She was the sex ed teacher. She always she said, "Oh, you must have learned a lot from me." I always laughed at that.
Okay. So this is all about a plowing competition in Napan.
Okay. Look at this great photo here, folks. Roger Como keeps it coming with the array. This is what this man was doing in 1986. He was 39 years old. He would go to work. He would tend to the children, be out playing horseshoes, and then in the night he'd come down and cut these newspaper articles out and collect all this. How did he find the time? Unbelievable. The sweat lies on his brow, but George Campbell doesn't mind a bit. The Lincoln resident won the horse plowing competition at the 35th provincial plowing match held in Napan Friday and Saturday. And isn't that really cool? Like, we are, you know, those of us that are not in the farming or agricultural world would have no idea that these kind of events are going on. But this fine gent right there, look at him. You know, he was capable. Holy crap, that man knew how to get her done. You can tell just by looking at him. So right on, Raj.
Okay. This well-known man here from Napan, he was also in the competition.
Okay, so piggybacking on that horse plowing again. Oh, okay. Yep, just that. Okay, here's another photo of that same competition. We're going to leave out that story. That was kind of a little... Look at that great photo right there. These are gentlemen with their beloved animals. You think about how different human history would have been if not for the horse. The horse is an unbelievable animal. It is, we've been connected with that animal for so long, and without them, where would we be? Good question. Plowing is not new to Henry Gillis of Napan, and neither is driving a team of horses. But taking part in the 35th provincial plowing match was. That was his first one. He is shown guiding his team of Beauty and Judy down the drills on Friday. And that's a photo from Kathy Carnahan. And there it is, folks. What a great event. Those guys must have been proud to be part of that back in 1986.
Just read just the top. Just that there.
Okay.
Maybe show her face, because I'm going to show you this here.
Okay, so this was from 1986. What we were hiding, I'll show you that. It says again, young woman murdered. And this is on the, this looked like a front page. Her name was Teresa McLaughlin,
Yeah.
and this was at a Nigawak. Oh, and here's that photo right there.
That's the funeral.
Okay, and there's the funeral right there. And it's very sad anytime a small community has, you know, it's scary for people, it's terrible. And this has a story. That's her funeral. Teresa McLaughlin was murdered in Nigawak. And it says, that those are the pallbearers. They carried the body of Teresa McLaughlin from Nigawak Church. We are all touched by this, Reverend Arsenault tells people. And I read something that they found the person. It was on Monday, her body, it was battered and was found in a gravel pit 1.5 miles from her home. And then on Wednesday, a 22-year-old Nigawak resident was taken in and charged with murder. Terrible, terrible stuff, but it's the reality of the human experience. And unfortunately, that was in the paper at that time, so we're just sharing it.
Okay. Okay, we have a skater here from Newcastle.
Oh, right on. I remember that name. Ladies and gentlemen, Flett has first in figure skating. And I think that should have been was first. But here is a figure skater from the Newcastle. That's Patty Flett. I remember that name. What a beautiful photo. Out on the ice all winter, training and competing. And what does it say? She was coached through the achievement by Stephanie Waters. And it says world level CFSA judge Eva Findlay from Montreal was favorably impressed by local Miramichi skaters at the end of season test day held on September 20th and 21st. 12-year-old Patty Flett recorded a first in provincial figure skating when she successfully tried and passed her novice single competitive test. Right on. Congratulations to Patty Flett of Newcastle. There you are. I always remembered that name growing up by reading the newspaper and your achievements.
Maybe check on Patty there. Oh, wait now. Who won that? Is that golf?
Yeah. Pat Flanagan.
Oh, yeah. Patty Flanagan.
Yeah, Flanagan wins tournament. Okay, so Pat Flanagan wins a golf tourney in 1986 in Doketown, and we'll just leave it right at that.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay, don't show that. Show them
Okay.
putting steel, unloading steel. And
Okay.
the person most excited, bring that up real slow.
Okay, so there's the photo right there, folks. Look at that. What's going on in this photo right there? Construction of some sort. I'm sure somebody was in this.
Rink.
The Newcastle rink. I'm sure somebody was in that window taking a look, letting everybody thinking that they were doing something wrong. 3 loads of steel arrived at the Newcastle Arenaplex site last week. The unloading has started with steel erection to begin shortly. That's what it looked like. Brian Richard took that photo. And on the same operation, we have a happy camper, folks, right there, jumping for joy. I wonder how many shots it took to get that in action. And that reads, it's in. The steel is in. He was quite happy. Then he was Newcastle Town Councillor Rick Matthews celebrates the arrival this week of some of the steel to be used to build the new arena in Newcastle. Matthews, as chairman of the Recreation and Parks Commission for the town, has been the target of criticism for the way the drive to build a new rink has been handled. There's always going to be criticism. It doesn't matter what you do. I recommend you go and read a Man in the Arena quote by ex-President Teddy Roosevelt. It talks just about how much easier it is to criticize than it is to build something. And we're all guilty of doing it. But, hey, Raj, the Timberwolves are still in the playoffs here.
Oh,
There's a game on Thursday night.
Yeah.
We should just get early tickets and go out and watch a hockey game. You're under pressure to say yes right now.
I was going to say, what do you mean by we?
Well, I mean, when's the last time you took in a good junior hockey game, right? Like, we can get a ticket. Oh, look at this. Hamilton defenseman still on top of his game. I had many friends from Campbellton and University. They always talked about this legendary hockey player, Sterling Loga. Loga will appear in 11th straight classic. There he is, folks. His name was Sterling Loga, and I'm assuming this is an all-star game. If he's playing in, yep, the North-South New Brunswick Senior Hockey All-Star Game has gone on for the past 20 years, and Sterling Loga was in 11 of them. So congratulations, Sterling Loga. He was a beauty. I remember him coming in from the old Campbellton Tigers. They were like the Miramichi Packers' big rival, man, back in the old 80s there.
Yeah.
He was their big top player. I had somebody making fun of my hair yesterday, Raj, at the grocery store. Somebody that we know, somebody that your son knows really well. One of your son's best friends was making fun of my hair at the grocery store yesterday.
Oh
and if I ever see him in a road hockey game, I'm going to fake left and go through his 5-hole again.
Well, we're going to show probably the best sale ever.
Oh, look at this sale.
Everything on there
is 1 cent.
You know, I had cut that out.
Oh my God.
Because I was cutting the backside here.
Oh yeah.
Getting rid of this here.
Oh yeah.
Just to keep the bowling and that.
Oh, right on.
And then when I seen that, I had to tape it all back on.
Oh, okay.
Just to show it.
Oh, Roger, cut this off, and then, okay, so this is quite a sale. This is at Lockhart's, folks.
Yeah.
Come in and look what 1 cent will buy at Lockhart's. Where was Lockhart's?
At the lights up in Chatham Head there. No lights there.
Oh, I remember that place, yeah.
Yeah.
Spectacular 1 cent sale. What was going on right here? Everything was a penny. They must have had to liquidate and get rid of some stuff. I will read a couple of things that were 1 penny at this big sale. 1 foot vinyl runner was 1 cent. Some geocell caulking.
Look there.
What was this? Paint sprayer for one. Oh no, it says. Oh, okay, so it was buy a paint sprayer for $179 and receive a glass mask for 1 cent. So this, you know, it was classic advertising. Buy a cordless drill, which was $61. Black & Decker cordless drill in 1986 was $61.99, and you would get a drill holder for 1 cent. So one of the things, Raj, that I talk to about young people in Vancouver all the time is to know the advertising techniques. I think we should be teaching our young people in the school system always about advertising techniques. Right away, be aware of what people are trying to do, right? Okay, so we got Valentine Run is set. What is the Valentine Run, folks? I remember the best Valentine's Day I ever had. I set up my studio, lights, I made all these hearts. Me and my wife sat in there and had sushi one night on Valentine's Day. Okay, so Valentine's Day for the Miramichi Jogging Club will be marked on Sunday, 2 days after the real thing, but the spirit will be there as the club holds its annual Sweetheart Run from the Linden Rec Center at 2 p.m. That'd be great, going on a little Sweetheart Run. Points are accumulated each month with the top male and female runners receiving the MJC Runner of the Year award. I can just imagine these Sweetheart Runs, like somebody's ahead of the other and they're like, wait for me, and like, hurry up, I'm not waiting for you. Probably that was happening. There are 9 categories for both male and female. Last month, the club's New Year Day run, Scott Hare of Newcastle won the open class, a time of 15:58. Hare is the top runner in New Brunswick, is the only runner in the 3-year history of the events to break the 16-minute barrier. He has done this 3 times. And the course record, okay, in the ladies run, it was Geraldine Donahue of Chatham last year. So right on, really cool. And point leaders at that time, Scott Hare, G. McDonald, sorry, I don't know the names, B. Geeky, Brian Richard of Newcastle, Jay Cox of Chatham, B. Morrissey of Newcastle,
Billy.
Keith Trevors, what is it?
Bill.
Bill Morrissey, Keith Trevors of Bushville, L. Flanagan, Newcastle, maybe R. Blackmore, maybe Rick, I don't know, of Newcastle, and A. Carroll. And of the female, we only have 3. It was Kathy Potts, Carrie Richard, and Cher Jardine. Well, I actually know, I know Carrie Richard and Cher Jardine, so right on, they were young at that time.
Yeah.
So right on, the running is a great thing to be doing. Roger Como continues to...
I went to school with this lad. He has his own,
Okay.
his own,
He had his own little article.
yeah.
So Roger says he goes to school, went to school. This guy's name is Mike Arsenault. It says feedback, positive, skeptical.
And he was one of good floor hockey.
Oh yeah, he was
players there.
playing some floor hockey.
Oh yeah.
So he was writing a column, and it just said reaction to my column has been mixed.
Yeah.
Some feedback has been positive,
I think
some
he had it every
skeptical.
week.
Yeah. Again, human condition. You're gonna have half believe in this, half think in this. It's very important to realize both sides have something right. You know, and not to spend your life arguing. Okay, what's in a name? This is from the September 24th issue, 1986. Okay, what's in a name? The most popular names at the time. This was a survey that was taken actually in 1984. And in 1984, Matthew and Jennifer were the most popular names in 1984. And in 1986, the girls were Ashley, Jennifer, Amanda, Jessica, Sarah, Melissa, Stephanie, Laura, Nicole, Michelle, Danielle, Lindsay, Amy, Lisa, and Megan. And for the boys, we had Michael, Christopher, Matthew, Andrew, Ryan, David, Daniel, Adam, Kyle, Jason, James, Robert, Joseph, Joshua, Justin, Jonathan. And at the bottom of that, at 1,432, was Roger. There was one kid named Roger in all of the world that year. No, that was all in New Brunswick, folks. And those are just the what's in a name. Wonder what the most popular names are.
Okay, we're going to sneak into Lyle McLean's past.
Oh,
into
yes.
His past here.
Okay.
That's his article there.
Okay, right on. So here's a Logieviller, folks. This guy right here, anybody in Logieville knows this gentleman right here, Lyle McLean. Very strong forearms. He grew up, he was a pitcher in softball. He was mentored by Billy Walsh, working in the mechanics. Now he has his own shop here on Wellington Street. Lyle's a great guy to go to if you're looking to have something fixed, as is Billy Walsh. So what does this say? This was Lyle McLean in grade 12. And these are questions that were asked, and he was just featured in this. It says, what have you planned to do after you graduate? I plan to go to Moncton Tech School and take electrical. I wonder if that happened for Lyle. Lyle, did you go to Moncton and take tech? We'll hear about that from somebody. When and why did you decide to become an electrician? I decided about the middle of last year. My brother-in-law is an electrician. I go around with him sometimes. I decided that it was what I'd like to do. Is that Billy? Billy's electrician by trade or just mechanics?
Just mechanic.
Okay, I don't know. What did you want to be when you first entered grade 1? He says, I used to want to be a mechanic, and as I got older, I just changed my goals. Well, those goals return to your grade 1. What advice would you have for somebody who still hasn't decided on a career? You have to pick something you like and enjoy because there is no sense in going into a profession which you couldn't satisfy you. That is excellent advice, Lyle McLean. That's what Theodore Williston, one of the survivors of the Escuminac disaster, was saying to me when we went to visit him. He kept saying, what do you like what you do? Do you like what you do? And if you don't, there's no point. And Heather Bremner, Raj, was also asked the same questions.
Yeah.
It says, what are you going to do after you graduation? I'm going to university for sure. I plan on teaching physical education, possibly specializing in sports medicine. What made you decide on this? I have always been interested in athletics as far back as elementary school. My favorite sports are basketball, track and field. What did you want to be in grade 1? I wanted to be an English teacher. My goal has changed. What advice would you give for somebody who doesn't know what to do? Take advantage of the guidance counselors. They have a lot of books and pamphlets on different professions, talking to people who are already, I was actually at a gathering on Saturday night talking to a local guidance counselor, and he was actually a great person to talk to for myself. He was an excellent guy, and the students really enjoy him.
Okay, he's current in Brunswick.
Oh, yeah.
And George Matheson he made the trip to Moncton.
Right.
And I have a photo somewhere.
Well, we
where-
showed it already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we can
Well, I can
revisit.
show all the kids.
Yeah.
there.
Okay, so we talked about George Matheson, a local Chatham Head guy, hit a moose back in whatever year it was. I'm not exactly certain. He was my sister's friend's father, and Rick Hansen, you know, out of BC, who became one of the great Paralympians of all time. And I think he wheelchaired across the world, around the world, to raise money. And here it is, folks. This is George Matheson went to Moncton to meet Rick Hansen. And there's a photo of some students celebrating the great Rick Hansen's achievements at this time. And it says about 360 students from Harkins Elementary School in Newcastle arrive at the Newcastle Town Hall. The students from grade 1 to 6 were participating in, this is Terry Fox, in which they raised $2,340 for the Cancer Society. Major John McKay spoke to the students about Terry Fox when they arrived at the hall. So yes, that's the Terry Fox story, but the Hansen was touring New Brunswick at that time, and George Matheson was going to see him, and he did. So we showed that picture a couple of episodes ago. Mm-hmm. Right on.
Yeah.
That must have been a great moment for George.
Yeah. So these two guys here are not in that crowd of kids.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
Those two guys are not in the crowd.
Well, okay, we got a photo from October the 1st, 1986, folks. We got a couple of Miramichiers with the jerseys off, doing some sort of a dance. What was happening here? Well, we will tell you right now. And remember, I get these blindly. Like 95% of these are coming to me blind, which is part of our charm here. Bill Davis and Leon Arbo performed a Hawaiian dance routine as part of the entertainment during the Mr. Thrilling Lion 1986 contest on Saturday at the Miramichi Agricultural Exhibition Association. So that's that Mr. Thrill of a Lifetime. Again, folks, look at these guys right here. Were they having fun? I think so. I don't know how serious this was really taken. But times were so different.
Another Dave Butler article
Okay.
here from these guys.
Oh, right on. Oh, for the daydream days of Ray, Leonard, and Alden. Okay, we have just an article on Roger Always Remembered. This is David Adams Richards, Ray Fraser, a couple of local authors, and it was just a write-up on okay, so Ray Fraser, a Chatham native, he was writing for an illustrious magazine in Montreal called Intercourse, and he used to hang out with Leonard Cohen. Right on. That's cool. And then they started getting into novels and talks of David Adams Richards. And anybody that's been watching this knows that when I revisited the Miramichi,
Did you read under the photo there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Ray Fraser. But anybody that's been watching knows that since I've been back to the Miramichi, I've been delving into some books. I've gone through about 10 books of David Adams Richards since I've been home. And I always repeat this thing. And I read this in one of his non-fictions. And it was called Lines on the Water. It's his experience fishing. He's a fly fisherman on the river here. A great novelist. He in my opinion, he really does have a good grasp on the human psychology. And his books, the characters are way deep. He actually gives a voice to Miramichiers. People take it the wrong way, have criticized him, but that's to come with the turf. But what David Adams Richards said about an older guy that he was fishing with on the river for some years, this is David Adams Richards, what he said. He goes, he was and always will be the embodiment of a Miramichier, proud, conscious of others, fearless within the bounds of physical environment, full of humor, and yet somewhat shy I always say Roger exudes those qualities. I'm still working on them. I think that's a real high compliment, Raj. I brought this up at that party the other night, and everybody listened, and they really liked that. And, you know, fearless within the bounds of physical environment. To me, that's a really, really important thing, because we got to be teaching our young people how to get out, work with their hands, and understand that the physical reality, you know, like people that do work with their hands, they seem to be a lot more grounded. Because if you're building something and it doesn't work, it doesn't work because it's a physical reality. And in order,
you have to go on Amazon and order a new set of hands.
you got to go. But you know, but seriously, you have to. If it doesn't fit, like people that work with their hands have that patience, because they know that in order for something to work, it has to, you know, fit into reality, which a lot of us are losing touch with.
You know, we just want to mention a word about Vince Brennan holding jewelry stuff.
Vince Brennan, okay, the closeout sale. This is from September 10th, 1986. There was a Miramichi business closing. I don't remember this, but look at there, folks. People were gathering around. What were the deals going to be? The closeout sale after 30-some years in business. Vince J. Brennan is selling out. Last week, eager customers lined up outside the jewelry store waiting to get in. Where was that?
Right on,
Was it Chatham or Newcastle?
I think it's on the corner there of Kennard. And
Okay.
Water Street there.
So it was in Chatham. So close to where the kitchen party is or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right handy there.
Okay.
Okay, the article is in the back here.
Oh, and there's Buddy. We already showed the Buddy.
Yep.
Oh, right on. So we're going to go...
Full.
Okay. So, folks, here we are. We actually are going to read a roster, and we're going to honor those guys, but we're going to show... Well, let's do that first. This is a Red Bank team. The Red Bank Warriors win New Brunswick Intermediate C. Who was on the Red Bank Warriors? Look at that group of happy, healthy men that just won a championship. They consisted of... Derwin Ward, Ron Ward, Chuck Ward, Tom Hattard, Steve Paul, Pat Ward, Paul Augustine, Wilfred Hill, Delbert Ward, Mickey Augustine, David Levi, Gerald Levi, Wayne Ward, Alan Bowes, Ed Pinder, Doug Chase, and Gary Wood was the coach. Right on, gents. That would have been a great time. I played some ball with some Wards, and from that area, they've always been good. But... our Logieville, look at this right here, folks. Robishaw captures softball league batting crown. There's Troy Ross, who was a young pitcher at the time, another Logieviller. But there he is, folks, Logieville's greatest shortstop, David Robishaw. He worked with my dad. He was Roger's old neighbor. He's an excellent, excellent human being. I think he's got some horses out there, and he used to have horses, didn't he? He had some animals of some sort. He can work with his hands, but David Robishaw was a left-handed hitting power shortstop, really good, and he led the team in hitting with the league in hitting with a .429 batting average. He led the league in hits, doubles, and he actually had 4 triples. It doesn't have the home runs.
No, that would belong to Jamie Watling.
Right, he was second in runs, and then Jamie Watling led the league in home runs. But David Robishaw, always a gentleman, and what a great shortstop he was. Great hitter.
Okay. Now, I worked side by side with John McIver.
Okay.
Mill, eh?
Okay.
Yeah, so these young lads here, and right here, Frankie Wilson.
Okay.
Won
Look at these papers from 1986. So, John McIver, the men's medal play championship for the club was played on Saturday. The overall winner was Roger's old co-worker, John McIver. He shot rounds of 80 on a Saturday and a 73 on Sunday. Wow, that's a good round. Okay, so there he is right there, folks. That's Frankie Williston. And then we have a team. A team receives sweaters and caps. Look at this great photo right there, folks. A bunch of kids are getting some new jerseys, some new caps. What's going on here? Well, Kenny Way of Newcastle Esso presents Ronnie Manderson He was the coach with a set of sweaters and hats from the Esso Sterling Industries. Looking on are team members. Jack Newcomb was the coach. There's no mention of who the kids were in that photo, unfortunately. And then Frankie Williston wins track crown. He was the Alpine Fund points leader with 165, whatever that means. But we will show that photo right there of Frankie Williston receiving a trophy from the Miramichi's best dressed gentleman, Joe Rashore. Once again, God, he was looking good, man. He looked sharp all the time, I must say. Joe Rashore, sales rep with Moosehead, presents Frankie Williston with the Alpine Point Fund Awards as Miramichi Raceway Track Champion on Sunday. Williston won the prestigious award with 165 points for the season. Right on, Raj. So Raj is looking. While Raj is looking, let's take a word from our sponsor. So we got two sponsors. We got Corey Wishart of Wishworks at the Core Store, and we have Roger's daughter, Amanda. She's a fine artist, many talents. She painted this photo of Roger right there. We've showed her work before. She has done sculpture, interior design work. She's very good with her hands. She runs her snow blower and puts on her own trim around doors and sews and
my hairdresser.
She cuts Roger's hair. What am I trying to talk about? You know when you put cloth on furniture? What's that called again? Oh my God, it's an easy word. I can't think of it. But anyway, Amanda did a self-portrait right here.
Upholster.
Yes, upholstery. She does upholstery. And there's one of Amanda's. And if you guys know what Amanda looks like, that is Amanda right there. It's just one of her art projects. A very, very talented, fine artist. And Amanda already got one commission, folks, from this show. Somebody contacted her and wanted a drawing done as a gift. And so why not? If you have somebody in your life that you want to give a special gift to, why not contact somebody like Amanda? She's easy to work with. She'll take your direction and you give her a photo or something of what you want, and she'll be able to give you an excellent product. And it's Roger's daughter. I know Raj is proud of her artistic capabilities, and how does somebody like Amanda sponsor a show like that is as high rolling as this one? Well, she just does it by being a great cousin, a great daughter. And if you ever want to contact her, this man right here, just look his name up in the phone book and give him a call. He deals with Amanda's secretarial work.
That's a great page, eh?
Oh, it is a great page, Raj. Fall Harvest. But Amanda, she's a wonderful artist. Like the more stuff I start seeing of hers, Raj, it's like I haven't seen it all before. It's really great. So this is from September 10th, 86. The Fall Harvest. We live in a fertile land here in the Miramichi Valley, and you know, these people deserve so much credit for the work that, you know, producing our food. And we do have amazing food here. We have amazing land, and we have this capability of just producing such amazing product. And this was the potato blossoms. Potatoes are being loaded on a trailer. A cutter chops off more tops, and a double row digger digs them. Freeman McDonald is in one of his potato fields. The potatoes were sprayed for weeds, beetles, and blight. A double row digger. Freeman McDonald pours a bucket. Potato harvest. There's Freeman McDonald, one of your local farmers in 1986, putting potatoes on your plate. Right on. And those people deserve to be honored. It is like, you know, it's the most fundamental of things.
Well, this is part 2 of all the names there.
Oh, okay.
And inside is they give a thank you for their wedding. William?
Yeah.
Just a thank you note.
Okay, just one sec. Okay, little break in the action there, folks. This was part 2 on the most popular names. What's in a name, part 2. Everybody knows that's the shape of our province right there. We have the top names on the male side and the female side, and it says 17 top names come from the Bible. And what are those names? Matthew, Christopher, Jennifer, Michael. Oh, these are all the names combined. Jason, Melissa, Jessica, Andrew, Joseph, Amanda, Ryan, Joshua, Melanie, Stephanie, Adam, Sarah, Daniel, Ashley, Justin, Matthew. So right on, New Brunswick babies.
Yep.
Shoppers Drug Mart advertisement
Okay,
on the
here.
back.
Okay, this is a little bit more of the farming
Okay.
contest
Okay.
there.
Okay, so the NB plowing, we spoke about that plowing contest. Here's a couple of more photos from that event. You know? There it is. Look at this healthy young chap right there, out in wilderness, out in nature, working with animals, working with his hands. That kid right there, he was 12-year-old Troy Gray of Norton. He was the 1985 winner of the junior plowing class for those 16 years and under at the provincial plowing match. This year, his brother, this was 86, Tony, won the junior plowing championships at the 35th provincial plowing match held in Napan. And Jeff Gillis of Napan, second place in junior open horse and plow, received some handy advice from grandfather Henry Gillis. And
So I think Alan's is his father.
is that that's not Gary Gray that's a different Gary Gray. Eh?
Yeah, that's a different.
Okay,
guy.
so that's Jeff Gillis, a kid learning from his grandfather out in the plowing. Really cool, Raj. Very interesting, and these are things that oftentimes go unnoticed and underappreciated. So thank you for showing the interest in.
They call their business a country store.
Okay.
That's the fall fair, right?
St. Michael's holds a fall fair. So right on. Look at this. Look at that great looking pumpkin head right there. St. Michael's Fall Fair. What was going on? Who are these people in these photos? And what do the captions say? Well, they say a man loading a wheelbarrow was depicted in a stage decoration at St. Michael's Parish Center. That was the Pumpkin Man. Many hands helped serve the supper held as part of St. Michael's Fall Fair. Leonard Fournier adds gravy to the potatoes, while unseen are Dan Leonard holding the plate, Bart Hanna. And then the country store was one of the features of the St. Michael's Fair. And at the from the left are the store staff, Marcia Bose, folks. We mentioned her a couple of shows ago. Donna Chasson, Anita King, Juanita McKendrick, Barb O'Reilly had her as a teacher. She was quite lovely. And Jeannie Bose. Well, right on, Raj. Thanks for sharing. Okay. Really excellent. Some more here.
Nothing too much. Especially Gary Matheson there.
Yeah, his name was Gary, eh? Well, this showed it up like David. We already kind of talked about it, right? This is just more of the softball championship. You know, it was between David Robishaw, who won it, we just showed you, and then Gary Matheson came in second, and that was from the team was the Williston Homes. But here's this is very interesting. This is something that we wouldn't have covered before. I just read it by chance, and it says, bad weather cost top spot. This is a bit of a surprising article here, Raj. Listen to this. Mike Fabro returned to CFB Chatham on Wednesday, a Canadian windsurfing champion.
Oh, yeah.
But not this year's overall winner. Last year he won the national title, but this year he placed third out of 67 competitors and captured the bronze. It was held in Quebec. He was disappointed, but that's really cool. So a Miramichi out of CFB, he was 26-year-old lieutenant, and he was the Canadian windsurfing champion. And a little note on windsurfing. I was in the Philippines years ago when I was teaching in Korea. We went on a vacation. So me and my friends were on this island, and we thought we were just going to rent windsurfers and just ignorantly go out and do it. No, it is quite difficult. Quite difficult. I think we showed that before, that photo.
Yeah, this is an extra paper in this I had, right? Signed.
Yeah. So what do we got here? Cardinals blow early lead. There's a great action shot of Mark Dunnett. The brothers Mark and Mike Dunnett. Look at there. Swinging. I wonder who those folks are sitting in the crowd right there. Perfect, eh? You got the umpire, the classic umpire, catcher, batter, couple of people up there watching the game. Mark Dunnett takes a cut at the ball for the Newcastle A and B Juniors as the Moncton Keith Cubs edged the A and B Juniors 5-3 on Sunday in Chatham. And then it says Chatham beats Newcastle for New Brunswick Bantam A. In one of the summaries of a game, Terry Morris and Chris McLean were pitching. Terry Morris had a home run and a single. Jason McLean, 2 singles. Joel McDermott had a home run. Scott Daly, double. Bobby Moore had a single. And for Newcastle, Kashmir had 6 strikeouts and a walk. That could be Tibor. Daypre. Okay, so for hitting, it was Tibor Kashmir had a solo homer in the 7th. Robert Holmes, 2 singles. Jay Allison, Wade Jardine, and Mike Mitchell, singles. Well, right on. And it was Chatham that beat Newcastle for the Bantam A title. And in the championship game, it was Chatham 9, Newcastle 5. Joey Savoy took the loss. And Jamie Wood, Chris Burns, and Tibor Kashmir. So right on. Really cool. Really cool. Okay, Raj. Okay. So what are we doing for time here? We're probably closing in on the hour. How are we doing for your
That's interesting.
Okay.
We only got one.
Okay, we're winding her down in 1986. It's a 4-part. Look at this. Holy crap. Look at this photo. This looks like a rough arrival, it says. Now, look at that. That right there, folks. Anybody in this great country of ours knows what that machine is. That is the old Zamboni. And we all know our favorite Zamboni driver. They don't leave that little, when they're doing the turn, they don't leave that, they don't miss a thing. They know how to do it up. There's not too much water on one end. A used Zamboni just purchased by the town for the Miramichi Civic Center had a bit of a rough ride when it arrived in Newcastle last Wednesday. The $13,000 machine slipped back over the bank at the Linden Recreation Center after it was unloaded from a truck. There was no damage, it says. I wonder who was responsible for that mishap. And that made the newspaper in 1986, folks. The new Zamboni was not done very well. And here's an interesting story right here. I actually saw, I'm assuming it was this guy's brother last night, and it's Andy Howe. Howe will tour with TNB, Theatre New Brunswick. Miramichi native Andy Howe is looking forward to a season of touring with Theatre New Brunswick as a technical assistant. A couple of weeks ago, the 1985 James M. Hill graduate became a staff member of TNB, where he's busy building sets for the season's first play. So I think that's the brother of Jason and Ian and those guys are always in the arts, and they still are. And I saw one of the brothers last night at the house concert. Right on, Raj. And here's a nice photo that are just showing in the newspaper at this time. There's a photo on the Miramichi River right there. What's going on? It says reflection of the past. And that's a photo that says lumbermen of years past well remember driving their logs down the Miramichi River, and the part played by booms such as this one at Millerton. Now the remains of booms seen in various parts of the river serve only as reflection of what used to be, and no surprise, it was a Kathy Carnahan photograph. So thank you, Kathy, for all of the work that you did over the years. And Raj, we're winding her down, aren't we?
Yeah, we're almost there.
Okay.
To mention that.
Okay.
And if you want to sneak in a couple of these there.
Couple of births, okay.
Black River.
Okay, right on. Okay, what do we got here? Student Council boosts Arena Plex Fund. Who was in this Student Council? This arena, the Newcastle Arena, was big news on the old river back in the day, folks. We needed a new rink. It burned down. And who was in this group? Well, in that group, I think I recognize one person. Let's see if I'm correct. Jay Bryanton. He was chairman of the fundraising committee, accepts the generous donation from the school's representatives. Charles Hubbard was the principal. E.J. Manderson, vice principal. Stacy Hogan was the council secretary. And yes, I was correct, Andrea Bose was the council president. And Natalie Treadwell was the council treasurer. So there she is, folks. There's Andrea Bose. She was the council president in 1986 when they were raising money for the new arena.
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef? Steer used for picnic. Another agricultural bovine photo, folks. Look at that gorgeous looking animal and these proud people standing behind it. This steer was purchased from Carolyn Matthews at the Northumberland Steer Show and Sale in April by Rayonier Lumber Blackville. It remained on a farm until August, at which time all necessary preparations were made, and it was barbecued in the hole and served as a meal for the employees and guests at the company picnic. Well, the vegans and vegetarians are not going to love that story, but the reality is that's what happened, and there it is, folks.
Well, we have a school that has a set of swings for the
Uh-oh.
kids.
Okay. Children enjoy a fall outing. Look at this gorgeous photo. There's nothing better than just hearing children laughing in a playground, and I'm sure that was happening here. And if you ever just forget about that, if you're ever going by a playground, just stop, roll down your window of your vehicle, and just listen to the giggling and the laughter. It's a beautiful thing. Stacy Walsh, Pamela Walker, and Tammy McDermott enjoy a swing on a sunny Saturday afternoon at Knappen Elementary. And just look at, there's two girls there. They're high. They're way on the old backswing there. Great photo. Classic playground apparatus. A set of swings. All you need is a piece of rope and a board, and you got yourself a good time.
How are we doing for our time?
Yeah, we got time to do some more. Like, we'll just wrap her up. Whatever, we'll just wrap up with what you got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are just two articles from Nelson days. There.
Okay. So at the Nelson Parade, folks, there's a Nelson Day Parade from 1986. Look at that cool little operation. Great photograph. I'm sure they have this in their family collection, whoever it is, and they are. This young couple enjoyed the sunny day along the parade route on Sunday as Nelson Miramichi celebrated Nelson Days. We don't know who those kids are. And this is Tracy Fernandez, I remember her, of Craigville. And her horse Jake took part in the Nelson Days parade on Sunday. Tracy was dressed as an RCMP officer. Look at that great photo right there. Tracy Fernandez of Nelson as an RCMP officer. Great photograph. Excellent. Raj cuts this out.
This is the Tablets and Tack store years ago.
Okay.
I'm going to show you the new one.
Okay. Member owned, member controlled, member built to serve community needs. Tablets and Tack Co-op, our new building. So this is the old store. There's the old Tablets and Tack Co-op. What was going on at this time? It looked like they were getting ready to relocate and bring in a new store. Roger Como took the time out to cut this out when he was 39 years old in 1986. Tablets and Tack Co-op opens new building, and I'm sure it's proudly serving the residents to this day. I have my sister's husband is from the area, folks, so I'm sure he knows it.
And we can
It will.
We can close off with Tablets and Tack.
And we'll close off 1986 with Tablets and Tack, Branch 47 Burns the Mortgage. What was going on here? This is from January the 8th, 1986. Look at this photo. It says Branch 47 Burns Mortgage. I will read this in 1 second. Okay, the burning of the mortgage. I've never heard of a mortgage burning before. For Branch 47, Royal Canadian Legion, Tavis attack took place. From left are Guy Robertson, Susie Acker, she was the past president of the Ladies Auxiliary, Chrissy Harding, Auxiliary President, Legion President Herbert Robertson, and Legion past President Willard Harding. So there it is, folks. That's how we're closing out 1986. Roger Como has a busy evening planned. It's Tuesday. I don't know what you're doing yet, but I know it's busy because he's always busy. And what am I going to do? I might go over to Douglastown and have a coffee with somebody. Okay, Raj, that's another...
takes care of 86.
Yeah. Takes care of 86, and we're closing in on episode number 30. Can you imagine how we've done 30 episodes down here?
Ooh, wow.
We've gone through a lot of material, and for those of you people that are appreciating our little project here, thank you very much. And like I say, we're doing it for our own reasons, a positive community building project, and that's it. So we'll see you guys again soon.
Right on.